I think that's how we get rid of all the people in the chat. Sorry.
Yeah. So when people first click and they're like, oh, they do a Survivor recap, and then they hear us and they're like, no.
What's the next one?
We already lost two. We already lost two on our beautiful singing. Welcome, you guys, to Married to Survivor. We're back, baby. Apologies. If you follow this channel and you follow my channel, Joleen Vlogs, which I hope you do.
I do.
Here. Yay. I put vlogs out. I had my mom and our niece and nephew visiting for 9 days. We had Nana and Frankie and Lucy for 9 days, and I'll be putting up some Vlogmas stuff. I'll be doing Vlogmas, even though we're 5 days in. But
I liked it right now.
You did?
Yeah.
With visitors, you can't really get a whole lot of stuff done because we're too busy having fun.
Yeah, well, it should be that way. You should be present when you have visitors, and you can't be recording unless you're both YouTubers. Then I can see that. But if like my best friend came and then I was like, "All right, how's it going, buddy?" I'd be like. If I was that friend, I'd be like, oh man, work's calling me. I got to get back earlier. It's so weird.
I do that. I do film a lot of the stuff we do, but I like to be present too and just hang out. But we did go live a couple times. Me and Nana did. And so Xchel and I weren't able to do our Wednesday night Married to Survivor. So we're here today with a special recap of episode 11, Do or Die of Survivor 41. We're going to break it all down, have our fun little crazy chats. Hello to everyone.
Hi.
Joining us. Make sure you guys smash that like.
Thanks for joining us.
We have another Christmas tree up, and there'll be another one right back here soon.
Where the blue light is. Where do you do with that lamp?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
I'll find a place for it.
Good news. The weather's going to be in the mid-60s.
Really? So we're going to get chilly.
Yeah. So maybe I'll take back the air conditioner machine just for the...
Okay. Our little portable AC.
And then you can put the light there. Yeah.
Okay. That would work. Yeah. Let's do that. And the tree behind Xchel is my newest creation. It is.
I don't have the lights on, but it's very
Paul
beautiful.
Bunyan. I know. Why don't you have the lights on? A Paul Bunyan inspired, Minnesota inspired.
The electricity went out in this room. It's so weird. I don't know what's happening. I'm running the computer on electricity pedals. I pedal with my feet, and the electricity runs to the computer.
Nice, Xchel. That is so. Wow, the technology. You guys, if you want to support the channel, liking the video really helps us. You can also support by becoming a member on YouTube. We have a YouTube membership. We're going to be doing special lives. Me and Nana just did one, a trivia one. And we're also going to be doing like in the news with Nana. And also Patreon, patreon.com/Joleen Lunzer. You get the perks there as well. Or you can send a super chat during the live, whatever. Or you can just enjoy. You know what I mean? Whatever. Okay. 60s is chilly. Yes, Jamie, you're in Detroit, so it's a little different for you. Xchel, how are you doing today? We dropped Nana and the kids off.
I watched the Vikings collapse. The Lions won. Everyone in the Viking land is saying fire Zimmer. But positive note, this is the best light I have right now. So we only got about 10 minutes before I get real ugly. So we got to hurry this up.
Xchel gets, before it gets really dark outside, because you're using the natural light for your light. All right. Well, now it's just back to me and Xchel, just the house back to ourselves. And then,
how are you doing?
I'm good. I miss my little. I'll be honest. I get depressed every time Nana leaves and the kids leave. I'll have a couple days where I'm just depressed. They're on a flight right now, and I miss them. I wish I could be with them all the time, but that is the life. Life takes you places, and I don't want to bring anyone down. No. So there you go. I miss them. That's what that is. But let's get into this episode, because this one made me cry too. This episode was a feels.
Was the ending the part that made you cry?
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Yeah, okay. There was. I mean, it was an emotional episode. This cast is pretty amazing, and so I'm not used to reality TV casts that are good people, allegedly.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little different. Also, neither of us won last week. Neither of us guessed the right people. I still put the because I found it.
That's cheating. You take it off right now.
Looks so cute on me. You guessed that who would go home this week would be either Deshawn or Erica. I guessed Ricard or Xander.
I was close, though. If the way that the episode didn't play out, it could have been one of mine. I was close. I was close.
You were close, but I like cute knits. So I'm wearing it. So we come back from Tribal, and this is after Deshaun has now been called a snake by Shan, and Shan was voted out. And Deshaun's just like, I don't understand why I'm the snake when Ricard, you snaked her.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And but what we ran into this way, and I think Ricard was right. It turned out like the way he was communicating wasn't good. Maybe because it was so emotional, because they heard Deshaun, Harry, and Lyanna.
You always want to call him Harry.
I don't know why. I always want to say Henry. But Danny, they were all conversing, and I guess that because they were like getting louder, right? And because Lyanna was totally pissed. She totally was like, This is like, you totally backdoored her. Like, we had a pact. We were going to go forward. And I think they heard that. And then when Deshaun came over and was like, Ricard, they call me a snake. I don't get it. His message wasn't clear, because what he was trying to do is be like, hey, look over here. This guy's the crazy guy, not me. Yeah. This guy.
And I think this just proves what I've been saying all season. Deshaun is a very emotional player.
Yeah,
so he wants to play like Danny, but he's not a player like Danny. He's not. He is emotional. He's emotional, just as Ricard, I feel, is a little emotional. Shan is it's Lyanna's emotional. Like, he's emotional. Just accept it, Deshaun. Okay.
Yeah. Embrace it. Cry.
Embrace it. Okay. Jeez, he is friggin' emotional. So when people are like, I don't know, Shan is ridiculous and Deshaun is just keeping it together, I'm like, no, he's just as emotional. He's an emotional person. Danny is the epitome of very together, like not together, because I don't want to say emotional is a bad thing, because I do appreciate Deshaun's emotion.
You're emotional.
I'm emotional for sure. Yeah. But Danny is just very even keeled. He's calm. He's just like Danny's the type of person, the more I watch, you'd want to be around him. He's a very calm person. He's everything I'm not.
Oh, I think you can be if you wanted to.
If I meditate or some shit.
Well, I think, all emotion is overwhelming at times. It's just, how do you respond when that emotion overruns you? Some people like, hey, I just need some time. Please give me some time. Yes. And some people react on that emotion. So, but, it is all, a response to what we're feeling. And I think as we grow older and we learn more about our emotions, we respond better than when we were children, right? Because children act on that emotion, right? They make it big. If they're sad, they cry. If they're mad, they like hit stuff,
Yeah, because that's all they know. But you learn different ways to let it out, like you're saying, when you get older.
I will say, I think Ricard's right on this point, where he just kind of said all of Deshaun's kind of game, which is like, Deshaun's all over the place. He's an emotional player. He can't seem to trust anybody to help him move forward. And that's what we're seeing here, is that because he got rid of someone that was probably one of the most loyal to him, now it's like, it's like he's trying to like wheel and deal, and he can't. Like, because the other four are like making a pact of like, we're Final Four, right?
He's scrambling. He shouldn't have put his eggs in so many baskets. And with this, like we said, the delivery of the getting Shan out, okay, but if that's what you wanted to do, or getting Ricard out, okay. However, you should have went to Shan. You shouldn't have went behind her back to Lyanna, and then Lyanna goes to, Shan. It was just a mess. And now we're seeing these underdogs, if you will, become the powerful force in Survivor, because it was just too messy. And Ricard is right. Like, him and Shan had transparency. The more Ricard stays in the game, the more I like Ricard. His game is awesome. He's like, we never promised each other finals. We said when it was time, we would cut each other. Shan did say it was too soon for her, but I never said it was too soon for me. We didn't promise finals. Deshaun, Danny, and Lyanna promised each other to go to the 4. So it's not a good look for Deshaun. He talks to Lyanna, like you said. She's upset because she just feels like this is broken. And then he's like, don't worry, I won't say your name anymore. But the trust is already broken.
Yeah. The trust broken, dude.
Come back from that.
You can't retrust. You can't retrust. It's broken.
Yes, you can't unfry things, Jerry. That's a line from Angela with Candy when Stephen Colbert was frying and she interrupted him. She's like, you can't unfry things, Jerry. So yeah,
It's like if you cheat on a marriage, right? It's like that'll always be there, you know?
it's always
It's
there.
like you can't go back to the place you were before that.
No, there are books that say that sometimes that kind of stuff will make your relationship better.
Who wrote that book? The guy who cheated?
Cheaters wrote that book because you always think about that. But maybe some people have success with that shit. I don't know. I remember.
I don't know, man. I think as you're older, right, you're like, fuck it, I just spent 30 years with this person. At least they can live with me, right? I don't want to redo that with anybody else. So that's probably, I think it's more of a fear to like step away, right? If that situation happens. But I want to know who wrote that book. That's what I want to know.
The cheaters are like, no, it's better. It's better if you cheat.
Like this guy cheated on his wife, and then he spent the next 10 years getting his PhD, and then he wrote his dissertation on why you should trust cheaters after you cheat, just to get her back.
It actually sounds like something a deceptive individual would in fact do. So then we even have Ricard, I think, talking to Deshaun, being like, dude, that
was the next day. Yep.
It's not
you gotta be chill.
You gotta chill it out a little bit. And so Deshaun's like, shit. Xander and Erica and Heather and Ricard now are kind of in power. And okay, so Xchel, I do have a little bit of tea. Well, it's not really tea, but it was on Twitter. And it's like an unseen scene, scene we haven't seen. So you remember when you were saying there's something between Lyanna and Xander. Yeah. And so there was a point where Xander was talking to Shan. It wasn't aired, I believe. Was talking to Shan and Ricard. And they were talking about how Lyanna kind of, they were all discussing Lyanna and maybe how she has it out for him or something. And he was like, if she only knew how I really felt about her, like, I think she's beautiful. Like, and then they went and told Lyanna and she was like, oh my God. Like, I mean, I'm just coming for him, but I can't believe he likes me. But they would actually make kind of a cute couple. And the more we learn about Xander, he seems like a good dude.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but Lyanna doesn't seem interested. But it was kind of cute, and it was like, oh, okay, Xander does have this little like school dude crush on Lyanna, and Lyanna was like, what? Seriously?
I think about Xander, like specifically this episode, that kind of like skewed me, and like I don't think he really knows what's going on. And he's like, I am in power. I did it. I am number one. It reminds me of that meme where the guy's celebrating and you see like he's drinking champagne and then zooms out and he's in third place. Like, because everything that's come up to this point is because of course he has an idol and a superpower, but he's been in the right place at the right time. He's never made those decisions to do that. I think this getting Shan out was on Ricard. It was all Ricard. It was like, this is my opportunity. Let's take it. And I don't think that Xander really realizes that he's just moving with what Ricard wants rather than him being quote unquote in power.
Yes. I don't think Xander is really in power. He has a lot of power in the game with, having still an idol, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, he had an extra vote tonight, right? Or this past episode as well. So he has quite a bit. Shannon Vance says, you're so darn entertaining. Talk about a power couple right here. Thanks, Shan. Oh my gosh. And maybe Atharella says you made Xchel blush. Yes, enemies to lovers fanfic reader coming through for real peachy hearts. It was pretty cute. The little conversation that I saw that was posted on Twitter. Okay, so then we go into there's yet another twist in Survivor. This season of Survivor, yet another fun little twist. Some might say fun, some might say too much. At this point, we're bordering on too much, I think. We go into the immunity challenge and we have Jeff, and Jeff's like, hey guys, you want to do the Jeff Xchel talking to the camera? He looks directly.
Hi, it's me, Jeff. I'm making love with all your faces right now across America. But I just want to let you know a little secret. I'm not wearing any underwear. Oh, here comes the cast. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey guys, come on into your immunity challenge. I'm not wearing any underwear. Okay. And so there he's like, what's up, guys? What's up,
there he is. He's free balling it. If you zoom out, you can tell he's not wearing any underwear.
There's Jeff just free balling it, and he's like, here's the deal. We got a new thing. It's called Do or Die. Okay,
Yeah.
do or die. And
You
what's gonna
have to
happen
guess if I'm wearing underwear or not,
Mhm.
and if you guess wrong, you might have to be voted out tonight.
you can guess which ball hangs lower. And it's the right one. It's always the right one. Okay. And he's like, we're doing do or die. So he's like, come on in, guys. This will decide. This will be a big turning point in the game. Someone might just be going home because they make the wrong choice.
Yeah.
Or they're out or whatever. So they come in and he's like, hey guys, what's up? It's me, Jeff. Free ball.
Jeff Freeball. Probst. That's his middle name. Freeball Probst.
What's up? And then he tells them, he gets real excited, like here, and then Xander and his nipples are like, what's happening? Him and Lyanna, the new fanfic power couple. He says, we're gonna give you guys a rock. And we're gonna give you 2 rocks, a red and a gray. Red means you want to go ahead and play. Gray means you feel kind of safe enough where you can sit out, because someone who plays this immunity challenge, who goes out first, will automatically go to tribal, and it'll be a do or die situation. You'll have to pick a box, as we learn later. And if you pick the wrong box, if you pick a skull and we're looking for fire, you automatically go home. So this could put your game in jeopardy. Do you want to risk it and play for immunity, or do you want to just not play, sit out? Granted, you could still be up to go, but you won't be in this do or die situation. So everyone gets their rocks. Everyone decides to play except for Lyanna and Heather. They're like, nah, bruh, I'm not doing it. And now I'm like, oh, I wish Lyanna would have played, because you never know.
So? Oh,
she could have won immunity, maybe.
But Deshaun could have went home. It's all chance, It
is all chance. So as we see here, they got their rocks, and then they're just like, whoa, Jeff. Yeah. And basically, then what they have to do is, those who played, everyone except for Lyanna and Heather, we have this little
By
ball.
the way, this camera is brought to you by Jeff's balls. What they do is they strap a camera on Jeff's balls, and then you can see from his ball camera.
Just the right one.
He's trying to get an NFL copyright thing going on. He's trying to follow what the NFL does. Get a ball
Jeff Probst, he is always, coming up with new ideas.
Yep.
He's amazing.
Probst free ball. Jeff free ball Probst. So this is Jeff's balls view. This is what we're looking at right now.
Yes, like Shan says, this is the ball view. Okay, so from the ball view, within 3 seconds, Deshaun drops, and he's automatically put into the do or die.
Which is like the worst thing to happen. And you can even tell, like, he was just so embarrassed. He just had his head down the rest of the challenge.
This was him.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, this is a horrible day for you. Not only did you just get called a snake and called out at tribal by Shan, and now you got Lyanna mad at you. You got to try to build trust with other people. You also then confronted Ricard about, why aren't you the snake? Why am I the snake? Instead of playing it cool. So now you're, it's a chance. It's just up in the air whether you are going to get to stay. Should you stay or should you go? So poor Deshaun has to sit there, and
he looks like when you get mad at a kid. And then Frankie. You're like, go sit in timeout, Frankie. And then he's just like,
Frankie's like, I don't want to do or die. I'm a doctor. Like, he doesn't want to. He's like, I shouldn't have to.
Doctors shouldn't have to. I went to school.
Gee, Sean, big man. Okay. But the good thing that happens is Danny wins his first immunity. And this is a beautiful day for Danny, who I am just falling more and more in love with in this game, because we love to hear their backstories. Yeah, we love their backstories. Even, very tragic. Danny is with his dad passing away when he was 8 in a car accident. And he talked a lot about it in this episode. They had a whole segment where he feels as though, he was 8 and he just had a lot of kind of, anger and just sadness and hurt from his dad. And then kind of maybe not paying tribute as much to his dad as he would have wanted to, because he felt a little like resentment and felt a little like, well, why my dad? I mean, I can't imagine being that young and losing your dad and such like, like an accident like that, and how you ever.
He was mad at his dad for dying.
Yeah, and it was today, the day he wins immunity, was the 25th anniversary of his death.
Yeah, that's really tough. I think when you lose a parent like that, I didn't have that. I think I was more mad at like people with like parents that were together. My parents are divorced, so I never had that. But I think as a kid, you really just don't understand that. But what I liked about this whole backstory is that he finally had time to not distract himself from his feelings. And that really helped him kind of process. Oh, this is a beautiful picture.
No.
It kind of helped him process that he wasn't so much mad at his dad as he was just mad at the situation. And then he just, I mean, I don't know if it feels like so fast, but I like this idea of not being distracted by like, you know, like you have YouTube, which can distract you if you're feeling sad. And I just sit on Reddit and listen to people complain about the Vikings, which is a distraction for me. Right. But I really like Danny. You know, I think
he's a cool
this
dude.
is really beautiful for him to win this on his dad's anniversary of his death.
It really was. And we got some fun, you know, throwback pics and how he said now, like he wants to talk to his mom more about the death of his dad. And he wants to go to his grave more and do all this stuff. So I think being out there, having, like you said, Xchel, every distraction taken away from you, which is what Survivor in a lot of ways Big Brother is, you do realize stuff because we will distract ourselves with anything. Like you said, you know, you got your phone, you got, you know, social media, your creative endeavors, TV, friends, but when all that's taken away and stripped from you, especially with Survivor, you really have time to think. So it was. And then they showed, you know, his picture with oops, I opened it on the wrong thing. His beautiful wife and
the like, baby photos.
What a nice freaking family you have, Danny.
So cute.
With the CD. And then him and his little babes. Look at this one. Oh my god.
Would you do that one where like your tummy's showing? Would you ever do that photo?
Oh yeah. If I did
would?
Pregnancy tummy,
yeah. Would you be funny about it or would you be serious about it though? Both. I think you'd be silly about it.
I would be silly. I would draw stuff on it.
That's what I thought.
Halloween, I would want a pumpkin on my belly. So that would be really, I've seen ladies do that and I thought that was really fun. So this was just such a cool freaking moment for our dude Danny, who dropped to his knees and just said, you know, he really wanted to win this one. He didn't think he'd be so emotional because he's, you know, an athlete, professional athlete, but it really meant something to him.
This photo makes it look like Deshaun's like, hey dude, you dead? You okay?
He's holding them down. No, but it was a nice moment because they're really good friends. And he was like, hey bro, but it does look like he's like, oh, he's not gonna make it. I'll take it.
Like Danny fell asleep through like a all-nighter or something, and then Deshaun woke up like because he went to bed early with the guys, and he's like checking on everybody.
You okay, bro? You okay? You know?
I do like that he got real emotional, like, oh my god, and then he like 5 seconds later he's like, cool, dude. Cool.
He wiped his tears with his shirt with his washboard abs, and then he went to Xander like, awesome, and then they moved on, but he won immunity.
Funny story about this picture. This is also from Jeff Probst's ball cam. His right ball just extends this far in order to get good
like a selfie
angles.
stick.
Yeah, this just looks like a selfie stick.
And that's what rich guys can do lots of things with their area.
Exactly.
So there you go.
You don't have small balls. You're just not rich.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have, I love that. You're not ugly. You're just poor, you know. So then they go back to camp and they have to scramble now because they're like, well, it could be
Deshaun,
right? But their plan was to go after Deshaun. But if it's not Deshaun and he gets safety, who are we going to have? And so they're really, you know, trying to figure it out. And Erica's like, I don't know. They did so many edits with her where she was just like, huh, good. Ooh. So Deshaun right away, or I should say Danny right away, pulls Xander aside and it's like, we need to go after Ricard. It's Ricard. I mean, Ricard is really good. And he's not wrong. You should take Ricard out of this game so quickly. It's ridiculous. But
he's too good.
Just was told by his number one ally that he turned on that she would vote for him at the end. And he's fine. You know, and he wins everything. Like he wins a lot.
Yeah.
And he's smart. So you should probably take him out. And Xander's like, oh yeah, Danny, that's interesting. That's an interesting point you make there. I'll think about it. Me and my nipples will think about it. But
big nipple gang.
Big nipple gang. But he is like, no, I'm in with Ricard. I'm in with Erica. I'm in with Heather. Like,
yeah, he's not making a Deshaun, and I'm going to make it a verb because he's basically, we're going to trust that this four sticks together till the end, and he's not going to turn against it.
which is a mistake, like you said earlier.
Well, I think Erica had the right move in terms of being like, we should get rid of Ricard. Like, this is the perfect time to. But I think Xander, and you'll probably agree with this, but I think Xander's like, oh, now it's time for the dudes. Because he's looking across and he sees Heather and he's like, easy. And he's like, I'll just stick with Ricard and we'll make it to final 3 with Heather there. You know, so I think that's what he sees.
Yeah, I could see that. I think with Xander, he's good at comps. You know, he's got advantages. He's a nice guy. He's not a dummy at all. However, he's not as strategic as the other players. And he's been on the wrong side of the vote. And I don't think he realizes that he should probably listen to Erica at this point. He has a way better chance going to the end with Erica and Heather, even though Heather has a good case to win. But yeah, going with Ricard is so dumb.
And I think this is where Xander's wrong because he thinks he's in power. So like the Shan move, he's like, we did it, right? And he's not looking at like, oh, Ricard was the one who brought up the idea. This would be a good move. He's just like, me and Ricard are like this. We're buddies.
And that again could be because he's so young too, you know?
Yeah, I think
Thank you, Dustin, for the super chat. Are you going to cover them on a 90 Day Fiancé pillow talk tonight? I love your channel, but what's the but, Dustin? but.
It does say but. Maybe he loves your channel's butt. You know, like like you know how you always play the videos at the end? That's the butt of the channel. Maybe he likes that. Yeah.
Me and Nana will be back for 90 Day with Nana tomorrow night. So at 5:30 Pacific, if you want to catch that. Thank you.
Cool.
Right? Nana will be back in Minnesota. Tear in my beer. So Ricard's just like, well, I mean, you know, he talks to Erica, like you said, she does have thought of maybe we should get Ricard out, and then, you know, Xander, no. What? He's not even a threat. He just wins everything. He's super smart. His number one ally says she's gonna vote for him at the end, even though he kind of snaked her but didn't snake her. And
plus me and him are like really good friends, so I don't know if I'll vote for that. He like told me.
He loves my nips. I'm gonna keep him.
He says he's gonna enlarge his just to be like me.
Well, and Erica's in trouble because when they have this talk on the beach, Ricard's like, is everyone down for, you know, getting going after Deshaun, you know, whatever. And he's like, well, I mean, Erica said you. Has anyone said me? I guess he said, and Xander's like, yeah, bro, said you. And she's like, Erica's very smart. We got to get rid of her. So Ricard's smart enough to know that, you know, Erica probably sees through him. I think,
and this is a fun fact about this picture. This was actually filmed with Jeff Probst's ball cam.
Again?
Yep. And if you see how Xander's sitting, that's how Jeff Probst is sitting behind them. The camera is usually placed around the crotch area for a ball cam. I don't know if you know how ball cams work, but
holding his balls at the time. Wow. Yeah. Just so
fantastic. And it's actually he's sitting on the beach across that island because he has the extended too? Yeah.
You got selfie stick wiener. Got it.
Yeah,
okay. A lot of wiener jokes on tonight's Married to Survivor. We love to see it.
That's what keeps it interesting.
We haven't been able to do these because we've had children for 9 days. Okay. So
I got to get them wiener jokes out.
Our hack comedian waves are coming in. Got to tell
They're all backed up. They got to come out somehow.
That's what he said. Okay. So here is Lyanna and Deshaun talking, and he's like, I will not
write your name.
Don't even tell me how to spell it. I don't want to write it. I don't want anything. And she's like, are you sure it's not going to be me? He's like, we're going to try and get Ricard out. She's like, I think that's a great plan. She wants Ricard out. She, you know, is okay with that. And Xchel's having another ball movement, I think.
Well, I like what Shan in the van just said. I think that's hilarious.
That's how you call her, Shan in the van.
Shannon Van, sorry.
But again, Erica's like, what am I going to do? I need to get rid of Ricard, but my allies say no.
You made Erica Ricard? Into Jerry Seinfeld.
What's the deal with keeping Ricard? That's what they're saying. And
why are Jeff's balls so long?
What's the deal with Jeff's long right ball? Right? And that's why he always wears cargo shirts. They're very roomy.
These sticks, funny fact about that, these sticks are actually modeled after Jeff's right ball. So I just want to let you know.
His selfie stick. So then we go to Tribal Council, which is just so Peter Pan-esque. What is that? The Hook, the movie Hook. It looks like the movie Hook. Dustin came back with another super chat. Thank you, Dustin. I love
Thanks,
that you
Dustin.
cover Survivor. What time is Survivor on? I love your channel. What network is Survivor on? Survivor is on CBS on Wednesday nights.
If you have a Hulu subscription, you could also just stream it. And they have all the episodes of this season there.
Yes. Good call, Chow. So thank you, Dustin, so much for that. Thank you. Okay. So they're at Tribal. All right. And right away they start talking. We see our wonderful little jury who's at Ponderosa. Chow. Look at these cuties.
I like Shan's big hoop earrings.
Me too. Shan looked flawless. Everyone looks good. You know, Abby looks great. Nasir looks happy as hell. He's got his tie-dye on.
Tiff's always dressing up like it's like the Emmys or like a red carpet event.
Tiff is feeling herself, and I love it. Like, what's up? This is my halter dress. Next week, another halter dress.
Everyone else is like real cash.
Yeah. And Abby, they hear about the do or die, and Abby's like, oh my God, she's nervous for Deshaun. So Deshaun now has to go up and find out whether he's just automatically getting kicked out of this tribal because he makes the wrong choice, or if he gets to stay. And then Jeff and his balls are there, and he's like, hey, listen, I'm not going to do any creepy thing, but you do have to come up here, and you do got to pick something.
Look my ball in the eye and pick something.
So he goes up. I thought I had a screenshot of it, but maybe I don't. So Deshaun goes up there, and there's 3 boxes he puts down, and he says, pick one box. And Deshaun says, I'm feeling this one. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. This is in my soul. I feel it. The first one. Jeff's like, all right, I'll open mine first. And Deshaun's like, no, I want to get it over with. This is my whole Survivor life in these boxes. You know, the first one he opens up is a skull. And he's like, are you sure you want to keep it? Because in one of your boxes, there'll be another skull and then 1 fire. So you do have the fire symbol. If you get the fire symbol, you're safe. If you get a skull, you're automatically going home. So then he chooses.
What does he pick?
Up his, and he has the fire symbol. He's safe. Deshaun is safe. Deshaun is safe. And everyone's just like, oh my God, Jeff's balls. You know? Everybody's like, oh my God, Jeff, why would you do that?
Jeff, your balls.
Well, you let your balls play tricks on us. Okay. Then we have these fantastic. Well, we have a moment. Okay. I thought I'd watch screenshots of this. Maybe I don't. Okay. So Deshaun's back in the game. So now they just talk, and Deshaun's like, I would like to say something. I do think I might have handled, talk to everyone after the tribal, after the Shan thing. I didn't understand it, but I didn't want to come off aggressive. I don't even know if he said aggressive or he said emotional. He
says that when he was speaking with people that he might have come off aggressive, but that he wanted to represent his culture well, but that it just might have not, or the idea was that he wanted to represent his culture well, and that it wasn't coming across, because it's very hard to play this game because you have this idea of like, oh man, I'm gonna play Survivor, but also I have to think about what's happening with my culture. So that's very hard for him. Yeah,
so he got very emotional because he was like, the getting rid of Shan was a big decision, and it's weighed heavily on my heart. And I do believe Deshaun in this sense. I mean, just like Xander said it perfectly, for someone who's white and wants to be an ally, it's like Xander, when he plays this game, if I play this game, I don't have to think about that because our privilege, we don't have to carry the weight of representation. We don't have to carry the weight of being the first this, the first that, sticking together, or the weight of trying to, make things better for our culture after 2020. And Lyanna just said Lyanna was speaking all the truths. Lyanna is a beautiful soul. She's so smart. She's just so amazing, and she's so young, which is just like, God, I was so shitty when I was her age, and she's so good. And she just explained everything beautifully, but it was heartbreaking. But it's something that all of us know. And she also even addressed like the people at home, because you're going to get those Survivor fans who's like, I just want to watch Survivor. I don't want to do it. But you're watching the people, and if the people are going through it, that's what.
Jolene, you don't get it. They just want to watch Survivor. They want to be distracted from the reality of the situation happening across America.
I know. It's like, this is what Lyanna said. This is what we're going through. So they cast us, and this is what we as people are going through. And also she liked the fact that they are, you know, when you get a 50% POC cast, you are able, just with African Americans on the show, you're able to tell that not all Black Americans are the same too.
Yeah.
And that, you know, look at all of us here, and we saw that with Big Brother, is that most of these people probably wouldn't have worked together if they weren't doing it for the culture. They would have just played their own game. And so she's saying she likes that aspect of it. And just, it was beautiful. If you guys haven't watched yet, but I'm assuming most of you did because you're watching this recap, go back. I don't want to destroy Lyanna's beautiful words. But the way she explained it was wonderful. And the empathy that they had for Deshaun, I think, was great too. And she at one point, she put her arm on him, despite the fact that this is a game, like Jeff said, that it's already really hard to play and it's deceptive and all these things. Then you have the added pressure of doing it for the culture, of wanting the audience to be able to see something good and positive and representation and working together. Yet, you know, it's a game where only one person can win at the end. You know, and so
just very tough. I really like that message. And you know what the funny thing is? It's like when Heather and Xander were both like, well, I don't have to think about that. It's kind of hard to hear that, because I feel like, especially, we've just been noticing, or it's always been a part of our world, but you know, just because of where people live, they don't really are tuned into that kind of stuff. I think like a personal example is like when we were in Arizona and when we went through 1070, and how I was really affected by that. And if you guys don't know what 1070 was in Arizona, 1070 was basically a state law passed that at any time when you're being pulled over by a officer, that they can check your citizenship right away, which, you know, doesn't really affect people who are white, right? But it affects people like me. Yeah, for your immigration status, your papers.
And they weren't ever pulling over in Arizona white people doing that. It was they were all pulling over people that appeared to be brown. You know, like that's what was happening. But what was that governor's name? She was a real piece. Jan Brewer. And so I remember your dad telling you, Xchel, don't forget to carry your papers. And I thought, God, that's something no one has
ever said that. I don't remember him saying that at all.
Yes, he told you to don't forget to carry your papers.
I don't remember that.
And so I don't think I've ever been stopped by the police and asked to provide citizenship. And basically it was just encouraging racial profiling at that point. I don't know if 1070 is still a thing now.
Well, I don't think I remember that, because sometimes when things like that happen, I like stuff them in the back of my mind. And then when these big racial type of situations happen, it's a little weird, but it all feels like it comes flooding back. All of those experiences where I was made to feel, you know, less than who I am. And so like, I could see that happening, but me not being able to remember that, because it's one of those things like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm just trying to live my life, Dad.
Well, your dad is so fantastic, and he's always out there, and he, you know, he's a professor, and he's out there, you know, fighting for Chicano rights.
Oh yeah, that's my dad.
That's what he does. He goes to the protest. Xchel's dad is amazing. Shout out to Manuel. We love you. We love you, Big Poppy. And that happened after George Floyd, because when we had an incident here, after the murder of George Floyd, we had an incident here where we live in our little gated community, where we call him Community Pool Carl, but he stopped us, and he's seen me a bunch. He's seen my parents here a bunch, and I've never been stopped, but I was with Xchel and he stopped me. And so I pulled out my phone and I questioned him. Like, he chased us out of his home. He yelled at us once and he chased us.
Well, we weren't at his home. We were just walking in the backyard. In the backyard, all the backyards are connected in a sense. So, but it wasn't his home. He
came out and asked us what we were doing. I'm thinking, we live here. You live here. I don't ask you what you're doing when you're walking your dumb white dogs all the time. Your little yappers, you know, but justice for the dogs. And then we said, we're going to the pool. We had noodles. We had noodles. We did. And then we saw him through, because a lot of the houses here, a lot of windows. We saw him run through and chase us out.
When we went back, yeah.
When we went back.
Okay, I won't walk back here.
Yeah, and he chased us because we're like, oh, we'll walk around. Chased us out his front door and came down his driveway at us. He was like, hey, stop. It's like, you don't have the right to ask us what the hell we're doing in our community that we live in and have been living in for months, just because you don't know us.
Yeah.
You're not the people that think they have a right to go outside and ask people what they're doing, where they belong. And so that he's like, well, we've had some, and he started, and I go, well, it seems suspect because you've seen me before and you've seen my mom and dad were just here. And so I pulled out my phone and I said, is it because my husband, it seems like the only difference here is that my husband has brown skin, my husband's Mexican, and that's why you're doing that. And he was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I had pulled the phone out and he changed his tune. He came charging at us. Of course, he had an American flag in his driveway hanging proud. It's like, sir, you can be you're not being very patriotic because it's a melting pot and you are doing some racial profile. And he was like, no, I'm just saying. And he put his foot in his mouth further. Remember, Charlie goes, well, there were some robberies here. And I go, so you're saying that my husband? No. And I go, you understand, you asking us, we already told you we're going to the pool. We don't even have to be that nice and tell you that. So for me in that moment, I didn't know what to do because my first instinct is always check my privilege with his. So if a white person starts to Kevin or Karen and do it to my husband or someone else and I'm out in the world, I want to check their privilege with mine and be like, I know what you're freaking doing. And call him out. That's what I did. And then he changed his tune. And since then, he hasn't bothered us.
No, he hasn't bothered. Well, the funny part about this is the person who actually committed a crime, which was like 2 weeks later, was this white guy because they got it on camera.
The person he was so worried about robbing him was a white person.
White guy.
Like, oh my God, not my husband. Sorry. It was him. So it was crazy. But yeah, so we see community pool, Carl. But then when that all happened, I remember you and I sitting down and talking, and we were just talking about the difference of my life experience versus yours. And there were so many things I remembered, and you're like, I don't remember. Oh my God, that did happen. So when you say it all came flooding back, it really did.
Yeah.
For you.
But it's hard, you just don't try to think of those things as a person of color. I mean, it would be overloading. So.
Heck yeah, I can totally understand.
They're not doing it. Angelica said if they're still doing it, they're not still doing it. It was challenged. And then this was back in 2009. So right around Jeff Arpaio times. So,
yeah, Joe Arpaio.
Jeff. I'm thinking of Jeff.
Not Jeff
Free ball and post. Sorry.
Jeff Probst is not a racist. Joe Arpaio, whatever his name is, definitely racist. He was the sheriff, and I think he had a reality show for a minute.
He was a Trump ally, and back in 2016. So you might have saw him back then.
I think they were giving him a reality show at one point. He would make all the people in the Arizona prisons and stuff wear pink underwear.
Pink underwear. Yeah, that was that.
What was the point of that?
Publicity to get more. Look at me, I'm sheriff.
He's such a dickhead. Yeah, these guys, they have the dumbest ideas. Like, no, I want pink underwear. Okay, that to me is like, I don't know how he thinks that's like shaming them or something. It's not.
Yeah.
Pink is for everybody. Dustin, thank you for the super chat. Says,
thanks, Dustin.
My keyboard is sticking with the typo in my keyboard of the sticky. Where do I go? The phone to Survivor on Hulu. You can download the app.
Hulu.com. HULU.
But if he's on his phone, he can go to hulu.com or you can go
download the app
and get it. So hi, Billy Bob.
I would like to share my screen because I have a photo from the episode that I it's like a little behind the scenes. Is that
you
okay?
have a special behind the scenes photo? Sure.
This is the tea.
Let me stop my share. And Xchel has Survivor tea, and we haven't even got to the vote yet. And Xchel has, let's see, what is it?
So this is the ball cam that Jeff carries around as attached to his balls. And you can tell because it says ball cam on it. So this is how Jeff gets those really tight angles where it's looking up from where he's going.
And it stretches with the balls, I guess.
Yep.
It
does. Go gadget ball cam.
I was wondering what you were doing a lot of clicking over there. It's like he's his mouse a lot. He's probably up to something. Fair enough. You were creating.
I love Photoshop. It's just I love being stupid on Photoshop.
We would do those Zoom comedy shows, and sometimes we could add like slides and shit, and you would have like you did the whole presentations. Okay.
I like it. It's just fun for me. It's stupid but fun. Thanks for letting me share that. I appreciate that.
I loved it. Good job. What was the Monty Hall explanation?
The Monty Hall explanation was so getting after the talk about what's happening in our society, and we all we're sad. It was time for Deshaun to do the challenge. And so Monty Hall explanation is basically he picked a box out of 3. 2 of them were bad. And when they took one away, they gave him the opportunity to pick the other box. So he got to pick twice. So basically, I think that the Monty Hall explanation right there was basically, would you be able to continue choosing the same box given the opportunity to take another chance? Remember, let's make a deal is basically like that. Like, do you sure you want to keep this one or do you want to open this one? You know, like after you got it.
The Monty Hall problem is a brain teaser in the form of a probability puzzle, loosely based on the American television game show Let's Make a Deal, and named after its original host, Monty Hall. Very good, Xchel.
Oh, cool.
The problem was originally posed in a letter by Steve Selvin to the American statistician, in 1975. So they have Monty Hall. You can Google them and find Monty Hall problems.
So in this instance, because he got rid of one of the boxes was a bad one, they let him re-choose if he wanted to make the choice to choose the other box.
Yeah, like, do you want to trust your gut or do you want to go with this other box? And he was like, I'm just my gut, which was a good choice.
Yeah. And his balls are shaved. There was no hair coming out from the ball cam. So obviously you could tell. You could tell it was
very smooth. Very smooth.
They're smooth.
Yep.
Because if you have hair, if you have hair around the balls, it's going to get in the lens, and then it's going to do that thing when you watch a movie and there's a hair like just on the top right corner. It's like up here, and it's just like.
Yeah, I bet you Jeff is like a monthly. I bet you actually he's not waxed. He's not vaxxed and waxed. He's vaxxed and
lasered.
Laser, not microdermabrasion.
Micro penis? Were you going to say micro penis?
All these penis jokes. No, that's not what I was saying.
Joleen, where are you going?
I'm so nervous by all these micro penis things. For me. I did it again. I'm trying to get rid of your share.
No way. It'll always stay up. I'll stop screen. Okay.
These micro balls are crazy.
Sorry about that. Thanks for letting me share.
So it was a good moment. I do think, like you said earlier, when Heather was talking about like, wow, that's not my reality. I should look into that. I do. I don't want to be too hard on people, but
wow, that's amazing that you guys go through that.
Look into that racism thing. What is it? Inequity. Okay,
how do you spell it? Is it NEIMAN space MARCUS?
You get the privilege. Is it privilege or privilege? You know, I'll ask my kids.
How does it affect my suburban lifestyle? That's what I want to know.
So I get.
Wait a second. Is this one of them critical race theory things? Get that out of here.
Take me to Florida. Take me to Texas. So I do get a little frustrated with other whites like myself when they go, oh God, I just guess I never thought about it. You never, out of everything we've seen on the news, and coming out of 2020,
King,
you didn't
O.J.
think
Simpson,
exactly. You've never
Eric Gardner, Ahmaud Brodberry. Like in last year, you were just at home the whole time. Like this was all you saw. So it's like, what are you doing?
Like, it's like, come on, and there's like the littlest you can do is just educate yourself on this kind of stuff and use your privilege for good and like be an ally. And I do agree with what they said. I do think all these people have great hearts and they would be good allies. But I do need you, if you look like me and you're like, God, I don't know what they're talking about, all that racism stuff. So you guys are dying. Wow. I need you to do a little.
You guys get Reese's? I love Reese's. Reese's are great. I like the peanut butter cups too. I'm totally Reese's.
You can even tell Deshaun's like, thanks, Heather. Yep, great. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Heather. Yep. That's what
Heather's
Google's
like that
for.
kid that you're like, all right, we're meeting at the car to play baseball. And then he shows up and you're like, where's your glove? And you're like, what's a glove? You're like, all right.
Like, damn it, Heather.
Good job, Heather. Way to go.
I mean, it's just people make whole write books about it. There's audio books about it. People have done the research. All you have to do is
press play.
Look for it. Yeah, press play and let it sink in. For real. It's a new world. Like,
to be fair,
the littlest.
To be fair, the problem here is that, and I think we all fell for this kind of guise, was that when Obama was elected president, I think as a nation, everyone felt collectively like, oh, wow, we're like really good people. We're past this racism thing.
Good
Way to go,
job,
us.
White.
Yeah.
Good job.
We did it. We elected him. Yeah. And I think that was only the start of a response from the other side. And I was listening to this podcast, which is like when they were talking about critical race theory, the lady said, and I forget her name and I'm so sorry, but very smart Black woman who's a professor basically said, I knew this critical race theory thing was coming because when George Floyd came, it was a push in one direction. And so that I was just waiting for the hammer to push the other way. And so this critical race theory is like a big response to the George Floyd thing, right? And with the George Floyd thing, we were actually seeing like, oh my God, wow, this is the final push for things to happen and things to change. But now what we're witnessing is this whole like response to that whole like accumulation of people wanting this change and what that comes with is as a pushback from the other side. So, Hi, Patty.
Patty. Hi, Patty. Yeah, I think it's the more good job, guys. The littlest we can do as white people to be allies, I think, and it does stink, obviously, that we have to have proof of this. You have to watch, unfortunately, George Floyd get murdered to see the injustice firsthand to go, okay, well, I guess. And then you still have people, obviously who question things and say really messed up stuff about that. But it's just like it's great that they're all able to learn from each other. But Heather's response was just like, I'm gonna look into that one.
Well, Heather's response is part of the problem, right? It's like you're obviously not connected with what's happening to us as a society. If your response is like, wow, even Xander's. I'm not gonna let Xander off the hook too, because even Xander's response was just the same. We're like, I don't have to look at that. It's like, dude, you're young, you have the internet, you're on Twitter, you see this stuff happening. Like, they're part of the issue, which is that what they're doing is they're concentrating on whatever their own life is, rather than looking at what's happening from the society around them, so that they can make decisions based upon that.
And not questioning the system that keeps it going because it's systemic. I thought Xander's answer was 100% better, because Xander recognized that the reason he doesn't see it isn't because he's ignorant to it. It's because his privilege allows him not to have to deal with that. So he's cognizant of it and he realizes it and he understands his privilege. And just him saying that on CBS, I think, was a really big moment, because I think there's a lot of people who watch Survivor and CBS, because I see it in Big Brother, who don't believe white privilege is a thing. They think it has something to do with mere economics of, we're saying all white people were born with a silver spoon, which is not at all what white privilege is. It's a simple Google search, you guys, and privilege comes in the ways of the littlest things, of always seeing yourself represented on television, always having hair products for you, always having like these little things that you take for granted, like your makeup color. You know what I mean? And now you're seeing these, makeup artists and things that are finally getting into stores like Target and have foundations and stuff for women of all colors. So there were, this is the tiniest thing. These are small things compared to all the other things that come along with privilege, but just looking at it like a little way, like you always see yourself represented in government. You always see yourself represented on television. You always, just like those little things are a privilege. It's a privilege in the United States. And just knowing that, the racism in our society is systemic, and that we all do have to like educate ourselves about it and be cognizant of it and be allies if we want to make it better, and if we want to help our fellow Americans. So I did think Xander's answer was definitely, he got it much more than Heather's. Like, I don't know. I'll see if they talk about that at yoga.
I think that he did get it, but at the same time, it's still like, for me, it's like he is younger, so he uses technology a lot. And I think he would be more connected to the world than someone who's been a stay-at-home mom for a long time, who's probably just concentrated on her kids and stuff like that. So I don't want to just pick on Heather, because I think Xander, too, is equal part of the issue. Yes, they can admit these things, but what do they do after they admit these things is what we have to hold them accountable to. So
Exactly. And do you, do you go forward then and educate yourself and then educate those around you and call stuff out when you see it? Like, do you try to make the system as a whole better? But I just love Deshaun's answer. Heather's like, God, thank you, Heather. That was very nice. Yeah, that was so great of you. I mean, I'm sure I'm reading more into it, but it was okay. Cool. Thank you. I'm just like crying. I feel the stress.
I didn't know that they did that.
Why is that? I'll have to. But I voted for a black guy once. So we're just giving Heather a hard time.
His name was Oklahoma, right?
No, Heather. Patty said, I've been watching for a while. Didn't have a phone that would let me sub or chat. You guys are great. Thanks, Patty. That's so freaking sweet of you. Yes.
Thanks, Patty.
Says, I think I heard in Rob's podcast that Heather has a little screen time in this season because of pasta. Ooh. Well, Heather, that's too bad.
That's too bad. That's what you said.
Doesn't surprise me.
Ooh, that's bad for her.
So we have this great moment, and that is really what Survivor's all about. It really is, like Jeff said, you strip everything away and you just put people together, people from all walks of life.
Yeah.
That's why it's great to have a diverse cast, and you just see how they can live in the literal jungle together. And it's, things are going to, just like what I always say with Big Brother, this is a reflection of real life. Your real life doesn't stop. The way you interact with people in society doesn't stop just because you're on a television show. You bring all of that with you, all those things from the outside world, and they come into play, and we want to see that. So I love that they're having this open and honest conversation. I love that everyone is participating in the conversation. I am here for all of this, but I'm sure there's a huge sector of the fan base who are like, God damn it, I don't want to hear this shit. God, could you just light a fire? And again,
can we please get a fire challenge, please?
And if any of those people have the same skin tone as me, that you'd say,
let's just put a person of color and a white against each other in a fire challenge. If the person of color wins, I'll think about what they say. If a white person wins, we never talk about this again.
Yes, and if you're at home, like I said, and you have the same skin color as me, and you are saying, God, I'm so sick of talking about this stuff. I do this, I watch this, like Chelsea, as an escape. That is a privilege for you, because Lyanna, as she said, everywhere she goes, she's always a black woman. She's always, that's the first thing. That's why it doesn't help with, I don't see color, things like that. So that's a privilege for you to be able to turn that off, because Lyanna, Deshaun, Danny, and Shan cannot do that. They cannot do that. So, God damn it, I just wanted to light a fire. God damn it, Rupert, where's that?
What is this world coming into?
Rupert never talked about race. Oh, God, I don't see color. What color is the water? It's blue. It's beautiful blue. You just saw color, sir. So it is, it's a great conversation. I love this cast. I do. As much as, we're just making fun here with Heather, and hopefully she doesn't have really problematic tweets. It's a great, great cast. Unfortunately, at the end, we then, since Deshaun is safe, we got to vote. And Lyanna doesn't use her, what's that thing called that no one's used yet? The 50-50 or whatever?
Yeah, the 50, the roll or die or things like that.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah, it's just the last chance. She don't want to lose her vote because she thinks that Erica might actually vote for Ricard. I think that's what happened.
Either way, save yourself. That could save you, though.
Yeah.
So I just would try it. I hate that.
I would try it too, but
didn't do it.
We know that this whole season has been like that, where no one has used any of their advantages, and then we lose them, and that's like dumb.
Thank you. Shot in the dark. Yes. Oh, thanks, Angelica. Yes, definitely check out Joleen vlogs, because I just put up one with Busy when he was visiting here, and then I have some more coming for Vlogmas. So definitely go sub, you guys. I think we're like a little over 100 away from 1,000 subs over there. So
yay!
You guys' support. Yeah. So then Lyanna's voted out, but she takes it like the queen she is. She's like, it was really fun playing with you guys. Danny, when Shan's sitting there, he says, I think Deshaun and Shan will talk. Danny says, and after this, and I think they'll understand where each other's coming from. I think they will too.
Yeah, I think it's like one of those things where it's just sad. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Yep. So it was.
I also think that Lyanna kind of saw her writing on the wall when Shan left. She was like, "This is it. Like, we're just lost. what are we gonna do? You know.
Mm-hmm. But God damn it, use the shot in the dark. You know, I think they have too many advantages.
I agree.
This season, and the tribes are just forgetting. They're like, what do we have again? He's got extra vote. He's got idol, but you got to put his idol with his idol. He's got to do or die. I gotta.
The problem is there's too many advantages. Everyone forgets. Oh yeah, I could use that one, but I have this other bag of advantages.
I got all these, and Xander's like, I got all these advantages. I can only hide so many in my underpants. So I don't know. It just this season has been a little too much with the advantages, but I will tell you, casting on point. So Ricard is going to win this season unless something.
I agree with that. And he
deserves to. If we didn't take him out, I would love to see Danny Ricard head to head with Erica. Oh wow.
Who do you think will go home? Oh wait, so Lyanna's voted out. So who do you think will go home next week?
Okay, we got to write this down. Put it in the chat, you guys. Who you guys think? Name one person you think has the biggest likelihood of going home. I'm going to say Deshawn.
Oh, good one. I'm going to say Erica.
Okay, and then Xchel says Erica. Let us know what you guys think. And if you're watching this later, put it in the comments. It helps us so much in the algorithm when you guys comment after the video posts. So yeah.
Before we leave, can I share my screen again? Because I have another behind the scenes shot.
Oh, I would love to. For that to happen. Trey says, I miss the good old days of sneak searching for idols, right? Well, it looks like next week we're going to see Danny maybe find an idol. But I do miss idols being used and played for people. I mean, we really haven't seen a ton of that because it's just been a lot of people went home with idols in their pocket. Then everyone knew who had idols, so that kind of changed the game. So yeah, I mean, definitely Deshawn and Danny next week are going to be on the chopping block because they are outside of this power four. But again. Erica, I think Deshawn's going to try to make some moves because he's got to do something. Erica might see some writing on the wall and want to pull away from Ricard. I don't know how Xander's going to feel about that. Heather seems pretty tight with Erica, but you never know. So I think
Erica's the next to go just because it's like Xander's going to be like, yo, she wants you gone. And then they're going to get rid of her because she trusts Xander too much. Even though I think Xander and her should work together. But what are you going to do?
Yeah. Patty says white Nana's age women from Red, West Virginia, and just wanted to say I'm here for it and about time. Thanks, Patty. We love you. We love to hear from all of our Leen team, and I love to hear just that kind of progressive thinking. It warms my cold Minnesota heart. Does Ricard win between him and Zen? Yes. I don't see how he doesn't. Ricard is just as good at comps in that as Xander, but he's more strategic. Xander has been on the wrong side of the boat so many times. His strategy is not. He definitely has slid with wins. He's been able to slide and not, be voted out in tribal. And then it was just. I mean, I think. He's a good guy.
Game. He's been the game.
Yeah.
He's made the moves. Xander hasn't made any.
Yes, exactly. Yes, it looked like Danny was searching for idols. I would love to see out of who's left. Obviously, Heather. No, Ricard, Danny, and Erica. I would love to see them see how they maneuver in this and see a final three with them.
I hope that Ricard realizes that Xander still has an idol and that they get rid of him. But I think Heather will be final three because you got to take one with you.
Yeah, I think Heather's got it smooth sailing for a while, and we'll see what happens.
Can I share my screen now? I've been really excited.
Oh gosh, you must have found some more Survivor tea with Xchel.
Yeah, this is Survivor tea with Xchel. Again, this is behind the scenes.
Look how dark it is now because you didn't light our tree. It looks so sad.
I know, and I'm almost done. But there you go. If you could please share. This is
oh my God, the ball cam again. Wow. What is? Hairs, Xchel? Is that? Can you zoom in? Can you get a zoom, please?
Yeah, I can zoom. We'll figure this out.
Wow. Oh, I see what you're. Oh, so Jeff, we've solved the puzzle. I thought Jeff was a.
I thought he was too, but he's obviously not.
Jeff is on natural, which makes sense too because he is a survivor guy.
Yeah, he's a survivor. He loves nature and he loves keeping it close to it.
In camaraderie and in the spirit of camaraderie, he grows it out as well.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
For him.
This is our ball cam check.
For Erica, to put it on Erica too, just right. That's why she's so upset.
Shan, could you do a ball, maybe like a golf ball and a camera and emoji together?
That would be fantastic. Or if StreamYard could finally show the little emojis that we make for the YouTube membership.
I wish that they would. I'm trying to figure out how to play your audio so that you can have little clips like a radio station.
I want audio snippets, but I have to go through OBS to do that.
Well, with the thing that you have, but we'll figure it out.
StreamYard a little weird, Yeah.
Well, I think you have to share your. I think I've seen StreamYard people do it. I just don't know how, so I'll figure it out.
I just literally have like I just go full on clips, so it'll be like this.
Shut the fuck up, Kylan. Shut the fuck up, Kylan.
So that was Tiffany from Big Brother saying, "Shut the F up, Kylan." And then obviously Michael Dark. From Potomac, obviously.
I just I think I've seen the people I use StreamYard. They work in a radio station, so I think I don't know how they do it, but I think that they should just share their audio constantly. So
okay,
yeah,
maybe. Oh, look we got a football in honor of Danny. Maybe the camera. Ball cam. Dustin says, "Send mail to children born."
Thanks, Dustin.
That's perfect to go with the ball.
All babies deserve letters.
All babies deserve letters. That clip never gets old to Tiffany. It really doesn't. And Michael Darby, obviously. Or an 8-ball. I like the 8-ball cam.
Go gadget ball cam.
Really like that. So we'll see this week what happens, but I think Danny's going to find an idol, or he's going to walk right past it, and it's going to be so frustrating.
I think Erica's going home if he finds an idol.
I don't want Erica to go home. All right. So that is the episode of Survivor. Xchel, you gave us a little bit of a football update. So normally we save it for the end. Any other football happenings?
Vikings play the Steelers on Thursday. Excited about that. I think we should.
Wait, you need an intro. Football with Xchel. Football with Xchel.
Hey, it's me, and it's football with Xchel. I have a stutter, and I just want to be clear about that. No, I'm just joking. Thursday night against the Steelers. If we know the Vikings well, it's a circle, right? And you have hope begins, then they let you down, then you lose all hope, and then you get hope. So I think we're at the part where we've lost all hope. We've lost to the Lions, right? Now we're going to see. Bad? They only have one win this year, and it's to us. The Vikings are really bad right now.
Quarterback Kirk Cousins?
That's the weird thing is every game they have is a close game. That's the problem. And some games shouldn't be like that.
Packers.
Yeah, but they lost to the Lions. It's pretty bad. So I think that they'll win against the Steelers because we got to build hope. We got to follow the circle.
Do the Steelers still have that same quarterback from a long time ago?
Raplesberger? Yeah.
Yeah. I thought he's got to be 50 by now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The Eagles won. Travel the World is excited for the Eagles win. Patty
Good for you, buddy.
Steelers are on now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm chilling. I have a stutter. I'm laughing. This one hurts most, Brooke says, as a Vikings fan. I don't.
Oh, it does. We're not supposed to lose to the Lions, but we've all lost all hope. So I think we'll be getting our hope back by beating the Steelers, probably by 30 points, just to be.
Hope floats.
No, because that's the circle. Once you have all hey, we beat the Packers, we're on top of the world. Something happens, and then we got to go back down the circle. So
they always got to slap you back into humility.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a good movie, I believe, with Sandra Bullock. Hope floats. So, that's too bad. Was Kirk Cousins? Is he the quarterback?
They were very conservative in the first half, but in the second half, they kind of let him throw the ball more. and everyone's being frustrated. Everyone's frustrated with the conservative play. But Justin Jefferson had a heck of a game, 164 yards at 8 catches. So everyone's excited for him. And I hope that we get it together, because right now it feels like we have a lot of good pieces, but they're just not being used the right way. So it's like we gave a 12-year-old kid keys to the Lamborghini, is what it feels like.
Well, tonight, Xchel, can we listen to the Vikings sports talk when all the callers call in, please?
Sure.
Did you already listen to it, or is it on yet?
I listened to it. Yeah, that's what I do.
Is it? Was it funny?
The K-Fan one I haven't listened to, but I listened to the one where they are more knowledgeable, not drunk.
I love the drunk. Was it called like, this is Dan from Elk River, and I'm pissed. This is bullshit. Kirk Cousins, you better
You'll
fire
probably hear that.
Zimmer, but he don't deserve the money there. Okay,
You'll
I'm
hear
gonna
that.
hang up and listen, babe.
Okay, I have to go because I have to pee. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Okay. 2 points. Phil's got to go because he's got to pee. Make sure you guys like, comment after the video post, and subscribe. That was awkward.
Bye. I gotta go.
See you guys later. Bye.